too bad.
So
I remember
sad.
I was a little kid, but I remember when Chummy had that, and there was still a railway going up into that shop. It was steep. I remember it going like this. Yeah, those are good pictures though.
He does an amazing job.
Yep.
I don't like the cold weather though.
No. The iced up.
Nah, just the battery. Hate it.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I'll have my badge ready in no time, Eric. Be ready to help.
I brought that guy down there to look at it the other day.
Did you? Alright, I've got 5 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order today, Tuesday, January 16th, 2024. Roll call, we have Selectman Howdy Goodwin, Eric Eaton, Mackenzie Jewett, Kevin Buck, myself, Jamie Thurlow, Town Manager Jesse Dunbar, and Town Clerk Sarah Abbott. Adoption of agenda, is there anything anyone would like to change?
The other thing I was gonna mention is maybe just talk a little bit about storm damage and
Yep.
make sure everyone knows they can.
That's exactly what I was gonna mention too, is maybe we should do some sort of a storm update or
Yeah.
something about with all the insurance stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
Do you need a motion for that, or?
Yeah.
Okay, I make a motion, we discuss storm damage and also we don't exceed whatever's legal.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to add storm damage onto regular business. Can we just do, we'll put that first, we'll do A. Does that sound good, or do you want it last?
A's fine.
Okay. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, approval of minutes. We have the minutes from January 2nd, 2024.
A motion to approve the minutes from January 2nd, 2024.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from January 2nd, 2024. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, next we have approval of warrants. We have warrant number 59 for $212, warrant 60 for $12,333.91, warrant 61 for $5,174, 62 for $14,214.09, 63 for $69,159.53, and 64 for $16,318.56.
Make a motion to approve warrants 59 through 64.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve warrants 59 through 64. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
I abstain because I'm on one of the warrants.
Okay. All right, next we have financial reports.
Alright, financial reports are as of December 31st, 2023, 50% of the way through the fiscal year. On the revenue side, in December we collected $97,058 in property taxes, bringing total collections to 93.93%. And we collected $33,928 in motor vehicle excise tax, resulting in total collections of 55.36% of what was budgeted. We received $724 in registration agent fees, $433 in plumbing permits, $720 in building permits, and $1,355 in checking interest for December. In the WARP fund, we received $560 in use fees, $1,000 in garage rent. In the harbor fund, we received $265 in boat excise tax and the annual $2,000 donation from Swans Island. On the expense side, the administration cost center is running under budget at 45.39%. In December, we had some additional expenses of $2,385 for select board pay, $3,200 for software, $15,908 for property and casualty insurance, and $485 in heating fuel. Public Works Cost Center, we are at 59.36% of the budget, though this will go down once the Dix Point Road expense is transferred in from the reserve. In December, some notable costs included $679 in repairs, $5,486 in road salt, $567 in outside repairs, and $997 in repair parts. In the general ledger, we received $12,117 in revenue sharing from the state in December, bringing total receipts for FY '24 to $85,503, or 51% of what was budgeted for the year. In the LRAP reserve, you will see the revenue from the state of $29,988 and the transfer to the general fund of $25,575. In the reval reserve, you'll see the first payment to RJB of $16,500. Otherwise, there's no significant changes to the general reserve accounts in December, and I have no concerns at this time.
Okay, thank you, Jesse. I just had one question. You said $2,000 donation from Swans Island. Have you heard anything back with them?
Neither have responded.
Okay,
At this point.
gotcha.
I'll jump in with that too.
Yeah.
I make a motion to accept the July 2023 through December 2023 financial reports.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the July 2023 through December 2023 financial reports. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, next we have regular business. We'll talk about the storm first thing. I'll let you, you have any news for us, Jesse?
So on the town side of things, as you may all, I think, are aware, the town wharf did sustain damage during Wednesday's storm. I don't know if you could say if it got more damage during Saturday.
Didn't get any better.
Didn't get any better, but, so repairs are underway for that. I'll defer to Eric for the details of what's damaged on it in a minute, but we did get word from the insurance company today that they will not be covering any of our storm-related damages to the harbor due to storm surge not being covered by the policy. In addition to the wharf, we did get word that the ramp to Goss Island is gone. The harbor master is gonna go out, I believe, tomorrow to see if it's washed ashore somewhere else out there.
Is it, the floats still in over there?
Somewhat good chance, but,
The floats are still in there?
no, but I guess the ramp stays
It's up on that ledge
up
pile
on-
right there.
Yeah. So I guess there's a somewhat good chance, based on the wind direction and the tide, that it did go ashore somewhere.
Yep.
But as of now, it's not where it's supposed to be. So that too is not covered if it is in fact gone. There was damage to the shoulders of Locust Point from both storms, where it washed over. Public Works repaired it before Saturday's, and I haven't had the chance to go out to see, but it was repaired with riprap ledge, where it took about 2 feet of the shoulder on each side from Wednesday's storm. Other than that, Crockett Point flooded over the top, and there was where the house fell in, the little wharf shack fell in along Steamboat Wharf Road. That's right in the same section where it's eroding the bank towards the town road, which is one of the FEMA grants. So Wednesday, during the storm, I had a FEMA grant meeting to go over the 4 grants, and 3 of them we were applying for had sustained damage that morning.
Like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Appropriate meeting. But other than that, that's it for town infrastructure. If you wanna explain kind of what's up with the war.
Yeah, so there was no hold down ties between the pylons and the header beams, and so what happened is it lifted, and there was some pylons under there that didn't have any cross bracing, so those stayed connected to the beams above and lifted in the mud and stayed there. So surrounding those pylons that are lifted have a 4 to 6 inch gap between the beams and the pylons all around it, which is probably 75% of the dock, if not more, that is lifted off the pylons. So, yeah, well, we think that it started to go down with today's work on it, but we couldn't get under it to determine exactly how much. So tomorrow morning we'll know more, and we'll just keep working on it and trying to get it down. Like I told you before, the brackets are being made now, and once it's back down, we'll put hold down brackets on it and replace cross bracing as needed.
So none of them were bolted through the side? No. I can't believe that.
Why?
I'm very surprised. Yeah.
Why does that happen?
I don't know, get into that.
All right, I mean, I don't understand how it works, so, okay.
I don't know them like that.
Yeah, no, I get that, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roughly, Eric, not to put you on the spot, but
No idea.
no idea how much.
Nope. Then we gotta see if we can get it down from
Yeah.
above without really tearing into it, because if we can't get it down from above, then we need to cut those pylons that are holding it
Yeah,
up
no, I get you.
and drop it, and that's a whole different process.
Because you gotta pick up on it first, or jack up on it, or something in order to cut them before you can cut them.
Right, it's just a whole different process, so
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you how much time it's gonna take. If the process that we're using now works, which I'm pretty confident that it will work, then hopefully we have the dock down by the end of the week,
Yeah.
and next week we can get the brackets on it. And I would like to be done with it before the end of next week, but it all determines on how this process
No, yeah.
is working, because we're just pounding it down from the top, is what we're doing, so.
And this is probably a great question, but would you reduce the load on it from now on?
No, that's not gonna make a difference.
So it should be good when if it's fixed.
Yeah, once
it's
it's
gonna
down,
be done.
it's
Yep.
fine. I mean, just don't want people driving on it now, because your dock is sitting on stuff like
Oh, yeah.
one post for a large amount of space, and so if it starts racking all the stringers and everything, it's gonna make it even more difficult to get it down and flat.
Yeah.
So just gonna keep people off of it for a few days so we can get it
Yeah.
down.
Oh, yeah.
Once it's down, then go for it. The rest of it can be done with traffic on it, so.
It sounds like you can be able to get it really flat again though, probably, huh?
If it goes down, it'll be just
Well.
as flat as it was before,
Yeah.
which wasn't all that flat.
Yeah.
So. But it's
I mean,
gonna go down.
I noticed,
You'll be
I was on it,
decent.
I was looking at it the other day, and it's definitely, up there in spots.
Yeah, if it goes down, it'll be right back onto the pylons that it was originally on, so.
Well, some of them got lifted though, so they probably got
But
another
those are the
stuff
ones
on.
we're pounding down.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
points on them,
Yeah.
so.
Oh, okay, okay.
As long as we can keep pounding those down, then everything will flatten out on the
Okay.
rest of
Okay,
the
good.
plane. But we'll see how it goes.
I was sitting there watching it go up and down 2 or
Yeah.
3 feet, and it's like, there's some issues with that. That thing was going just like a wave. The dock, that looked so strange.
Well, luckily, the drift pins that are in the top of the pylons they come down through the stringers and the headers. They have a point on them, so, and they're fairly lined up with the holes in the top of the pylons, so
Nice.
that is good, because a lot of times they're just square cut, and if that's off a little bit, it'll never go back down.
Yep.
So it should go.
Okay, good.
So the harbor master has received, of course, complaints about the wharf being close to vehicle traffic, but
Seriously?
he's done his best to explain it. And then, he's done well explaining that we're trying as hard as we can to fix it. Everybody's in the same situation.
Yeah.
He got, the usual 3 or 4 today when the truck went on the dock to fix it.
Mm.
Well, if that can go on it, why can't ours go?
Oh my word.
Yeah. Well.
What are you gonna do?
We haven't got
What are
any
you
calls-
gonna
do?
we haven't got any calls here, but he said he'd
Yeah.
gotten plenty, but he's handling it.
I would think that people would be very understanding that we're fortunate that we have a wharf left, and it could be a lot worse than what it is right now.
Yeah.
My big concern with that, with the wharf stuff, was making sure where are we gonna pull funds from for that? I know it gets tricky on,
Yeah, it'll just, I mean, supposedly, we'll be able to give our letter from the insurance company to FEMA and hopefully get something from FEMA.
yeah, but I mean, in
In
the
the meantime, the wharf, I mean, the fund that normally you're building up
Mhm.
has an amount in it. I don't know if it's on the sheet. So the wharf has $29,000 in it. Harbor has $21,000 in it.
Okay.
So
I just wanna make sure, what if there's,
You
you
have
know, if
around
there's 50
30
grand worth of damage, then what
we
do
have
we do?
around 30 left in ARPA.
Okay. Just wanna make sure that someone gets paid that works on it when it's done, not in
6 months.
6 months
Yeah.
from now, cause it's.
Oh, they'll get paid.
Yeah,
It
well-
just might not look pretty on this paper.
Yeah.
And we'll set up a payment plan there.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
GoFundMe.
Yeah.
So, yes, we'll have to figure out where it's coming from, but, yes.
And I went down to Crockett Point and I just got out, checked out that just to see how bad that was flooded, and that was probably 3 feet at that second time. That was a lot of water, like a
Yeah.
ton of water down there. That should be built up for sure right there. I mean, that was huge. I've never paid much attention. I don't go down there that much, but that was a lot of water over the road.
Well, Locust Point had pretty impressive current. going
Yeah,
through
no, it did.
uh,
Yep.
Picnic
Yeah.
table ground in the middle of the road there.
I went,
Yep. So and there's clearly tons of private property damage, both, private and businesses. So as I said, the initial reports from the state was that they wanted everybody to file their damage reports with the town office. Then they changed that and they want it filled out on an online survey or emailed directly to the state. There's a bit of confusion coming from the state on what exactly they want the town to do, if anything, at this point. So I'm waiting to get clarification from the emergency management director. Until I get clarification, I've just encouraged everybody to copy me on their emails to the state in the event that I need to do something with that information.
okay.
Do you have any idea number of docks damaged in town?
In town, I don't right now.
Yeah.
I know substantial damage. I know Thurston's had quite a bit, surprisingly, and their dock is in really good shape. Carlton's obviously. the lo-
Substantial damage to the CH Bridge.
Yeah, it's just, yeah,
He's
CH
waiting
Ridge
for the
is really
engineer.
bad. Yeah,
He said it might have to come down.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Oh,
all
boy.
lifted and then it let go in the
Holy
middle and
cow.
it's all, the whole, in the building is completely gone, all the cement and everything.
Wow.
And Josh Lawson's family dock there is a good, well, I don't know, third at least of that is gone completely, maybe half.
This one on Steve Ward.
No, down on, Crockett
Crockett
Point.
Point.
Oh, okay.
I'd say that's about all of them though,
Yep.
for the town, for in this harbor anyways, and I
Yep.
haven't had any reports for any other ones in town, you know, down the coast or anything, so.
We were actually pretty fortunate, the wind direction on that second storm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If that, what if that had been blowing the same way as the first one?
yeah, if
would've
it was
been a lot
southeast
worse.
again, you would have been in a
Yeah.
mess, yeah. Yep. All right, so,
So I've posted links on our website to the state's information, as well as today, Island Institute has released a storm recovery page on their website with resources, including some grants they're opening for working waterfront businesses, so that's posted on the website as well, and on Facebook.
all right, well, thank you, Jesse, for
Yeah.
keeping up with everything and keeping an
And
eye
you
on
too, you're out
things
there in
this
the
weekend
wind and rain, clunking around.
Yeah, that's what, just clunking around.
Just clunking around, scavenging.
Yeah, I
Sometimes,
think,
Yeah, I know, right?
I think Eric called for the storm, that kept him, that way
He
he's
just
got about
like-
2 years worth of work.
Yeah.
My workload's getting a little low.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll make a few relief cuts. Yeah. Oh my.
All right, next we have the library ordinance.
So the library ordinance is on your agenda. The library board of trustees have unanimously voted to request a change to their bylaws, increasing the number of trustees from 9, which it currently is, to a range of 9 to 12. You approved their bylaws, however, the ordinance states the same thing as the bylaws. So in order to change the bylaws, you need to change the ordinance first, which is a town meeting change. So there's a draft in there. At the same time, since I was editing it, I've updated the change from Board of Selectmen to Select Board, like we've been doing as we do the changes. Other than that, it's just the change of their members.
Looks good to me.
Sure, sure.
I make a motion to certify and sign the May 13th, 2024 version of the library ordinance, request the town manager to place it on the warrant for town meeting by referendum, and recommend passage by town meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to certify and sign the May 13th, 2024 version of the library ordinance, and to request the town manager to place it on a warrant for town meeting by referendum and recommend passage by town meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, next we have Board of Appeals ordinance. You want that one, Jesse, or
Yep.
it's just a fee change, right?
Yes, so we've needed to make a change, for a bit to the Board of Appeals ordinance. The current ordinance, last amended in 2001, includes a set application fee of $50. At some point over the years, before I got here, the application was changed to reflect the fee of $100. And then you discussed increasing the fee at your last fee schedule meeting last spring to $250. However, the town's been advised by our attorney that legally we can't charge more than the 50 that's in the ordinance until the ordinance is amended. So I proposed changing it to the same verbiage in all the rest of our ordinances, land use ordinances, that says it shall be set from time to time by the select board. The Board of Appeals also discussed previously, during the campground meetings, that the time frames for all written materials and exhibits to be filed with them was very short for the board, particularly with a large project. It's 7 days for the big case, and then 3 for the opposing party, 3 days before the meeting. So they discussed previously that they'd like to expand the time frame, so I've put in 14 and 7 as a suggestion. The Board of Appeals, I tried to get this on the Board of Appeals agenda for the last meeting, but the chair didn't want to add it, for whatever reason, but it should go to town meeting, so we can address the fee issue. Ultimately, it's up to the select board, so I put it on your agenda.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely think that the price needs to go up. I mean, it's a lot of work for everybody, and
I think we have an attorney there every time too. That's
no,
cost-
I know, that's what, it's 250 even is minimal. That's very minimal.
A motion to certify and sign the May 13th, 2004 version of the Board of Appeals ordinance. Request the town manager to place it on the warrant for town meeting by referendum and recommend passage by the town meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to certify and sign the May 13th, 2024 version of the Board of Appeals ordinance, and to request the town manager to place it on the warrant for town meeting by referendum and recommend passage by town meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, next we have the site plan review ordinance. It's that time of year. We're like fine tuning everything.
The planning board at their last meeting made a motion to pass along, the ordinance amendment to the site plan review to the select board, after they discussed it at the last meeting. Mark's here, if you have any questions, but essentially, they discussed a change, in the applicability section of the ordinance, differentiating between minor use, site development and major site development. Which is something the code office brought to their attention as well, that right now, the way it's written, basically any commercial use, falls under site plan review, which may or may not have been the intent when the ordinance was created, but that's what's in there. So there's been a lot of projects over the years that have kind of been caught in the site plan review ordinance that aren't really something that requires a full site plan review, such as when Archie's did like an overhang on a kitchen, it's not full-blown site plan review.
Yeah.
But if you wanna add
Yeah, Mark?
anything.
Basically, I was gonna use the Archie's example. It is basically an awning that was added onto one of the buildings, and because it was a structure, it tripped the site plan review. So we had to go through the whole process as well as the applicant for just a minor alteration. And most, or a lot of towns have this minor site plan review ordinance anyway, so this takes it out of our hands, puts it in the hands of the CEO.
Yep. I think it's a good idea. The only thing, do you think 600 to 999 square feet is enough? I'm just trying to think of
Yeah,
what.
we talked about that.
Yeah.
I think currently it's 600, so we did make it a little larger. We were all happy with it, the way it is.
Yep. I'm just thinking of how big really 1,000 square feet is, not very big. But, yeah. Yep.
There's one other change that I missed, in my memo, when I was printing it. On page 9, under the, notice requirements, the CEO was recommending, currently they're required to send notice to the abutters by certified mail, which is the only application that requires certified mail, which is fairly obviously expensive and time consuming to do. And also notifying all property owners within 500 feet versus just normal abutting property owners. So,
And that makes sense.
Yeah, we did discuss that, though. I was aware of it. It didn't come up at our meeting.
Yep.
Just presented us.
And I think that's fine, just abutting property, that's what it is normally, I don't know
Right.
why it'd be any different, yeah, that's. No, that looks good.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, we're gonna have some more coming after our meeting next week. The land use ordinance.
yes.
Oh, thanks, Mark. You gonna address, sheds?
Yes.
Tall
Yes.
Oh, no, I just
Tall
didn't know,
ones?
I just had an inclination that you might be, that's all.
Yeah.
It'll be in there.
Yeah. Okay,
That's one of them. yes.
okay, yeah. Look good to everybody?
Yeah.
That's good, man.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
motion to certify and sign the May 2004 version of the site plan review ordinance. Request the town manager to place it on the warrant for the town meeting by referendum and recommend passage by town meeting.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to certify and sign the May 2024 version of the site plan review ordinance and to request the town manager to place it on a warrant for town meeting by referendum and recommend passage by town meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, next we have dedication of the town report. I know I have an idea of someone.
I do too.
Yeah, probably the same person I was thinking.
Who?
Ernie,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I was
Um,
thinking that.
Yeah, I just thought of that,
I mean,
actually.
He drove the bus at
today.
Tremont for 39 years.
Yep,
Yeah, he's not doing
So he died.
it. Oh, he did?
yep. Yeah, I think it would be a good thing. Ernie was always, he
Yeah.
was always good to us kids growing up. I don't know, he was there for 39 years.
Yep.
Yeah, wow.
Part-time till 2012, and he worked, full-time till 2012, and part-time till 2017.
Yep.
Yep.
Started in 78.
Wow.
Holy cow.
I'll make a motion to dedicate the 2023 town report to Ernest Campbell Jr.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to dedicate the 2023 town report to Ernie Campbell Jr. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, next we have tax acquired property.
Drive
Thanks,
safe,
folks.
Mark.
Good night.
See
Eric,
ya.
if you see me in the ditch, at least honk and wave as you go by.
I've got a chain, I'll just throw it out the window.
Yeah.
I just take the plow and push her off a little further.
Yeah. All right, we have, what do we have, Jesse? I should say, how we.
So you have, in your packet, there's a memo from the tax collector,
Mhm.
Sarah Abbott, regarding two properties, that's been foreclosed on for unpaid FY 22 taxes. Both, have received all the required notifications per the state for our tax acquired property policy. The first one, tax map 5, lot 28H1, you can see the delinquent as of today, total due, that would bring it up current. This property, contact has been made by the owner, but this time they're unable to make payments towards the balance due. And with your second one, same thing, tax due of today, and total taxes due to bring it current. There's been no contact made by either the owner or the interested parties. Is this still correct as of today?
Mhm.
Yeah. So since your packet was done, nothing's changed.
The first one we talked about recently, right?
Yes.
Yeah, was that open session or executive? Okay.
I
Couldn't
was just gonna
remember.
ask, can we
But yes,
put,
that's the one.
can we put
Yeah.
names to either one of them, or do we, that executive?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that we talked about, no contact has been made since that last.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. And the second one is not,
Same,
No contact.
no contact.
no contact at all.
Period, yeah.
So not even, no payment arrangements, no, I'll
Nope.
pay $10 a month or not.
Those are the ones that I'd like to discuss further if there's no contact at all. Like, we need to figure out a way to get in contact with them. Or what to do from
Yeah.
And
here
they've signed
forward
all
if
the
they-
notices, like, you send them certified, right?
Yeah.
Don't they have to sign the card, so they're picking the mail up?
Yes,
All
they're
right.
getting them.
Yeah,
They're
okay.
returned.
Yeah, okay, all right. Gotcha.
So how do we discuss further? Just we can put it on executive session at a later date, or,
Yeah, if you want to.
okay.
Yeah, you can choose, no action.
We can't do an executive session on it tonight.
Yeah, you can add one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's the executive session?
Yeah,
Why don't we do that?
just to
Well, we
discuss.
Probably do it sooner than later, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I just, yeah.
Yeah, just add, we've already got one in there, right?
How do we do that, Jesse? Can't we for now just add on to the agenda to go into, have an executive session at the end of the meeting for tax acquired property.
Yeah, I was just checking here. Statute for tax, for executive session. Yeah, so it'd be. You have one on the end of your agenda now, so it'd be MRSA 4056 C.
6C.
6B.
C.
C.
Okay. I think I can come up with something that would be legal.
And do you want a motion for us to put it on the agenda now? Okay.
I make a motion to discuss tax acquired property in executive session.
Second.
So moved and seconded to discuss tax acquired property in executive session. Can I put at the end of, on the last agenda item tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Next, we have the John Deere backhoe.
So the John Deere backhoe, obviously is aging, has a lot of repairs, but it's been, previously, the board has made the decision to basically run it into the ground. So it is in need of more repairs to the bucket. So I went over a couple options with the public works foreman, and I told him I'd place it on your agenda to basically reconfirm what position the board still has on continuing to make repairs to it, and what level of repairs you wanna make, what level of funds you want to spend on it. In general, most of its repairs are fairly minimal. Public Works does all of them. The bucket itself has been getting thin inside and out on it. It's been repaired numerous times. Justin's welded it on numerous occasions, welded patches onto it.
So there's your problem right there.
It's needed. It's needed,
Coming from Eric over there.
it needs more, repairs. It's getting some holes in the bucket, you can see through it. So the foreman was it also needs the pins replaced on the bucket. So we had a discussion of what kind of repairs do we want to continue to make? Do we want a new bucket? So you did get a price for a new bucket. It's $5,640 for a brand new bucket. Since doing the memo, I've also talked to him again. They brought up the possibility of maybe we could find a used bucket somewhere. And I know you mentioned the having a what do you call it, insert made, steel insert made to mount inside the bucket. So just looking for direction from you, what level of.
The rest of the machine's running pretty well.
Yeah, again, it has its, you know, it just had a hydraulic line repair.
Yeah, but
But yes, in general, it's fine.
We said
Did you do that, sir?
Yeah.
Gotta keep them busy.
To me, that's just how much abuse that's not happening to the newer machine
Yeah.
Right.
and, you know, and you don't have to bring it back and forth if you're using it someplace.
Right.
So, I mean, to me, keeping that thing working is a really good idea. And if
I'd say repair it.
I would too, I wouldn't buy a new.
Absolutely not.
No.
Or
Okay.
find a used one.
I mean, you can find, someone can patch that bucket to make it
You can
last.
do a lot of
Okay.
welding pretty quick to make it happen. And if you guys need someone around here, then I know, I got a few guys that work for me that
Yes, I think one of them looked at it.
KJ did it, or Isaac did.
Dan.
Oh, yeah, you need Isaac.
Yeah.
He can do it, and he can do the pins too.
And that's the other thing I was gonna mention, just $1,000 for those pins is, I mean, we can turn, at the boatyard, we can turn any pins you need, you know, if they're odd diameter or whatever for, I mean, for little or nothing compared.
Okay.
That's nothing, and, I mean, like Dylan too, he's done really good welding, just if they can unpin the bucket and let someone come in. I had Bangor Steel just roll me a piece before, and it was just like, you know, a little bit of a hook on the backside of it, welded it, and that lasted 6 or 8 years, more
Longer
than
than the
that.
rest of the machines.
Yeah, exactly, I mean, that'll last a long time, and at the time, it was, I know now, price has gone up a ton, but it might be $1,000 worth of steel, maybe. And you throw $500 for someone to weld it.
$500 for the steel.
Yeah.
probably.
Yep,
Okay.
so,
If you want, I can put you in touch with Isaac, or if
Okay.
you want to find someone else, but he's
Yep.
renting a shop up here down at Mayo's, and he's all set up, doing everything, so.
basically, it's just loading sand and gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's the thing, that salt, the longer you can beat
Yeah.
that thing down to,
Yeah.
and keep the new machine
Yeah.
out of it, the better.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, sloppy pins, that's everything that I've got. I wouldn't get too worried about the pins.
Have you seen Eric's boom truck?
Yeah.
I was scared for my life.
Yeah, stop it.
Okay.
I just patch the bucket, I wouldn't worry about the
Yeah,
pins.
Yeah.
I agree. If it's just running the salt shed, then,
Just put grease to it.
Yeah, run it.
Get thicker grease.
Yeah, pretty much, it's really not.
you don't even need grease at that point, just let it be.
Just gets awful loud.
Yeah.
I think actually Dylan helped me do one of my, sleeved pins with pipe, just took the piece of
Okay.
pipe, slid it in over it just as a bushing, tack welded it. That'll last a long time, and it tightens them up a lot, and it is what it is.
Okay.
Cheap fix.
Works for me.
So we don't need any motion on that then, do we? Okay. Okay, next we have town manager's report.
All right. Over the last 2 weeks, I have worked on the FY25 budget. I did the orientation of the harbor master, getting him familiar with everything, office and procedures. I had several FEMA grant meetings and submitted 4 grants to FEMA as of yesterday. I had a quick initial meeting with Bar Harbor and Mount Desert Police Department to talk about the proposal that they're gonna present to you guys sometime next month. Worked on meeting prep, financial reports, attended the planning board meeting. I attended a Lighthouse Road meeting that Acadia National Park hosted here in this room with residents along Lighthouse Road and Arnold Road to talk about the traffic concerns.
What'd they have to say?
Yeah, did anything come of
Solutions.
that?
Not yet.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I am looking into, the residents requested, wanted to know if the town could look into seasonal speed bumps for that road due to the traffic speeding. to it. I have a source to get free speed bumps, so I'm just trying to figure out through the DOT if there's anything that would prohibit us from having, speed bumps there, where it's our road, but where they set the speed limit. I'm just checking to see if they have any jurisdiction over.
I didn't realize speeding was an issue. I knew the congestion was, but
Apparently, there's been less congestion and more speed lost. I guess the summer before, the rangers stopped people at the entrance to the park, which then blocked the residents. This summer, they did not stop them, but it's more the traffic, speed, turning, RVs turning into people's driveways when they see the third no RVs beyond this sign. So which it does cause, at some point it'll cost us money because when somebody's culvert needs to be replaced, that's our expense to replace the culvert. So are some that have been receiving damage from RVs turning around in their driveways.
There needs to be a parking lot down there, just basically.
So there may be movement on that, but we'll see. Wednesday, I was busy with the storm response following the meeting, checking everything out, following up, filing insurance claims that were waste of time. And again, Saturday, I came over during the storm, high tide, and came over again Saturday night. Check out collapsed. I also attended the Board of Appeals meeting last week. Office staff, clerk, is busy with the BMV reports, worked on some town meeting prep, updated committee lists, and worked on the search for the next Boston Post cane. Public Works mixed up salt and sand, worked on the trap pile over here, removed some traps from the Marsh Road lot, brought them over here to go to the dump. The sander and plow were put back on truck 3, metal scrap was removed from the site, treated roads, greased the John Deere, pushed out the salt after salt delivery, pushed back brush along Tremont Road and Harbor Drive, snow plowing, sanding, repaired the hydraulic leak on the John Deere, storm cleanup, and they were here during Wednesdays and they came in during Saturdays. Storms brought cones down to the wharf to block that off. Treated road Sunday morning and repaired the shoulders on Wolf's Point Road. The harbor master moved traps up here to the garage from the dock. Had some conversations with boat captains about leaving traps down on the floats. Please don't move that, bring them up to the wharf. Handle it from there. Cleaned up trash, repaired a broken pin on the float, checked all the floats out before the storm. The electric hoist wasn't working, but it seemed to go back before you could repair it. It was working again. Storm response on Wednesday, storm cleanup. He was assisted with the fixing of the ramp, met with the engineer, had some calls, meetings with Eric about the wharf repair. Got the report that the Goss Island ramp is gone, and he was here on Saturday for the second storm. And over the next few weeks, I'll be continuing my FY25 budget work.
Okay, thank you, Jesse. Suggestions for next meeting? Date of the next meeting?
The motion to confirm the date of the next meeting for Monday, February 5th, 2024 at 5 p.m.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to confirm the date of the next meeting for Monday, February 5th, 2024, 5 p.m. at the town office. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, next we have an executive session titled Personnel Matters.
I make a motion to find the public discussion of these personnel matters could be reasonably expected to cause damage to the employee's reputation and/or to violate the employee's privacy rights, and therefore to go into executive session to discuss the employment, appointment, assignment, duties, promotion, demotion, compensation, evaluation, disciplining, resignation, and/or dismissal of an individual, a group of public officials, appointees, or employees as permitted by 1 MRSA 405.6.a.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to go into executive session titled Personnel Matters as read by Kevin. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
That's stuff to do, or you come back down.
All right, we are gonna change the executive session. I'd like to have the executive session titled Tax Acquired Property Discussion first, so that we can have Town Clerk Sarah Abbott be part of that.
Just close the first one.
Oh, close the first one?
I mean, wouldn't that be easier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cleaner.
So we can close the first executive session at 5:51, and then we would like to open an executive session titled Tax Acquired Property.
I make a motion to go into executive session to discuss tax acquired property as permitted by 1 MRSA 405.6.c.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to go into executive session titled Tax Acquired Property as read by Kevin. And we'd also like to invite Town Clerk Sarah Abbott in on the executive session. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, we are out of executive session, titled Tax Acquired Property, at 6:06. Now we need to go into executive session, entitled Personnel Matters. Who would like to read that again?
I know, it's like, sign me up
I think
again.
I've got it burned into my brain. I move to go into executive session to find the public discussion of these personnel matters could be reasonably expected to cause damage to the employee's reputation and/or to violate the employee's privacy rights, and therefore to go into executive session to discuss the employment, appointment, assignment, duties, promotion, demotion, compensation, evaluation, disciplining, resignation, and/or dismissal of an individual, a group of public officials, appointees, or employees as permitted by 1 MRSA 405.6.a.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to go into executive session titled Personnel Matters as read by Kevin. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? We've got 6:07 on my.
I'm done.
All right, we are out of executive session titled Personnel Matters at 6:29.
No, that's right. I make a motion to approve and sign the, how do I put it? Yeah. Employment agreement with Jesse Dunbar dated January 16th, 2024.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to agree to and sign the employment agreement between Jesse Dunbar and the town of Tremont dated January 16th, 2024. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, can we do a motion to adjourn? Second. All those in favor?
Is that the sign, copy to sign?
Oh, okay.